Uh, a lot of people, like, according to linguists, I hear that a lot of people say, according to linguists, we're the only people left in the United States who generally still tend to have a little bit of some pronunciations that sound like our ancestors. Because if you listen to the traditional native country southern country speakers, the average country person tend to sound more like this. What we call this Moonlight Magnolias drawl. Because if you turn up that southern draw, someone told me if you speed it all the way up and you start to kind of get a little bit of speed to it over time, it turns back to a Scots Irish accent. But after Scott Irish brought vocabulary from Europe, but new words were invented here. But now the closest you can get to Scott Irish is that Virginia Tidewater accent. It's not a complete southern drawl. It's not complete, but it has a little twist on the. You can hear it has a little bit of twist on a Midwestern accent, and it has also maybe some Southern, maybe some Midwestern, and maybe some Scott Irish, because they don't say about, they say a boat, like a boat, like I'm talking about accents here. But as you go farther into like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, all that area, it starts to get a lot thicker, deeper, and richer. This is more of the outland southern accent that you will find near the outland areas. But as you go farther into the southern interior and further inland, the accent will start to sound like more nasally, and buddy, it'll start to sound more like what they consider rednecks down there. But when you start to get in, but when you some guy said that you could get, there was this silly joke that about how you get more redneck the closer you get to your lawnmower. When you start to get on that lawnmower, you start to go crazy. You start to get on that thing. Yeah. But as you back up, that nasally will turn to more of what I call the southern scan. That means traditional southern accent. Call the southern scan, then it'll still tend to sound more like this. What we call this it's called, today's accent for this one is called the Moonlight Magnolia Drawl, or what you could even consider the Mississippi accent. The same one for Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Alabama and Mississippi. But now if you go down to Louisiana, instead they don't really sound like that. Instead they tend to sound more Rita French with maybe a hint of Spanish, like spanning around the bayous. They have more of that French or Española, like Perro, Bonita, or French, spinning around the bayous. That's more New Orleans. But as you go to the Southwest, you'll have what you'll sound it. They don't sound Southern at all in Southwest Louisiana. Instead, they tend to sound more like they're from like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's literally how they sound in Southwest Louisiana. I'm not gonna lie, that accent instead of sounding country, they have a hint of what some people would consider a Pennsylvania like accent. Like, if you go up to Pittsburgh, they have that different accent. Like, have you listened to people how they talk from Pittsburgh? Like in Southwest Louisiana, I have heard people from there, and they tend to have more of like a native Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania traditional accent, even though they're still from the South region. But they say it's starting to fade into with a hint of a California accent, or maybe even a Chicago with a hint of Chicago in it. But they don't sound like how we do, or how most average Southern people sound. But if you go up to New York, they sound a lot different. Like if I think I might have talked to some people who were from New York, and you know what they looked at me like what are you saying? Like that. Like that's how some of them look. They think I talk funny, but I said, you think I talk funny? Sometimes I don't understand anything they're saying. I better end this video early. I probably don't have to end the video right now. Coco, hey, are you okay? Coco, you okay? Are you okay, Coco? But now country, if you go out to Arkansas, they sound somewhat like us. But now if you go toward like South Arkansas, they're gonna probably have that slower talk. But again, New Orleans, they'll have more of that La France